Today we're going to cover chapter 8, and I love this chapter. It was an interesting conversation, and one that I kind of felt a little bit guilty bringing up at the time, to be honest. I was a mortgage broker, but I was also an investor, and I had a dear friend and colleague. We used to sit back and chat property at every opportunity, and he was talking to me about some of the amazing growth that he'd had in some of his properties over the years. But the interesting thing was that our investment attitudes varied a little bit. I'm a buy and hold investor. I don't like selling. Even when the property's performing, I want to still hold on to it. And Mike, on the other hand, had decided that selling and getting his gain was always a good idea. And I've called the chapter Mike and the Winning Horse Theory. And what he felt that he could do very well, and he demonstrated that he could do it well, was pick the winning horse. So he could pick the winning suburb, or he could pick a street or a house that would be outperforming, and then he'd sell it and capitalise on a gain. But he'd pay some tax on that gain, and he would obviously preclude himself from experiencing any further gains on that property because he'd sold it. And he did this over and over again, and I asked him all about it. So let me get this right, Mike. When your suburb is outperforming other suburbs, you hold the property, but when another suburb starts to do better than this one, you sell and buy in the next well-performing suburb. And he said, yeah, spot on. So when you back out your stamp duty cost, your agent's fees, marketing expenses and capital gains tax, you are still in front. Yeah, for sure. I had one in Northcote and it doubled in value within a 4-year period. I made almost 100 grand on that after expenses. I said, okay, I understand. Did you need the money at the time? Personal question, I know that, but we were good mates. Oh no, we were right. I just wanted to find another suburb that could make another 100 grand for me. I gave this some thought. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So Mike, if you'd taken equity out of the house instead of your winnings and then reinvested that 100 grand into 2 purchases, you could have bought 2 more properties in your next winning suburb, and all these years later, you could have then had 3 gorgeous inner-ring houses by now, paying your passive income stream off the rents. That rental income would have been around $100,000 a year by now. Mike looked contemplatively at the wall with his hands together and his fingertips against his chin. He sighed and then said to me, I wish I'd talked to you back then, kiddo.